In a city where power wore expensive suits and respect was measured in bank accounts, there lived a man who believed he understood the world. Victor Laurent, a self-made millionaire, from nothing to everything, glass mansion, private jets, a name that made people stand up when he entered a room. To him, life was simple. You either win or you disappear. But there was one thing in his perfect empire he could never control. His daughter, Isabella, she had grown up surrounded by marble floors and golden chandeliers, but her heart had never belonged to that world. She asked questions that made her father uncomfortable. Why do we have so much when others have nothing? Victor would smile politely. Because we worked harder. That was his answer to everything until the night everything changed. Music darkened slightly. It was winter. Cold, bitter, merciless. Outside one of Victor's luxury hotels sat a man wrapped in torn fabric, unshaven. Silent, invisible, hundreds walked past him daily, but Isabella stopped. She didn't hesitate. She didn't judge. She simply sat beside him. "Hello," she said gently. The man looked up, surprised. Most people avoided eye contact. His name was Daniel, and for the first time in months, someone asked him how he was, not what he wanted, not why he was there, just how he was. That conversation lasted 10 minutes, then she came back the next day. And the next, she brought food, books, a blanket, but more than that, she brought dignity. When Victor found out, his pride shattered. "A homeless man," he said coldly. "You embarrass this family." "He's not an embarrassment," Isabella replied calmly. "He's human." Victor's jaw tightened. "You don't understand how the world works." "No, Dad," she said softly. "I think you don't." Those words felt like betrayal. Victor had built his life proving he was superior to poverty, and now his daughter was choosing to sit beside it. So he made a decision, a cruel one. "If you admire that life so much," he said, "then live it." Silence filled the mansion. "I'm cutting you off. No money, no access, no help. Let's see how long your compassion survives reality." He expected tears, begging, fear, but Isabella only nodded. "If that's what it takes for you to understand, I will." And just like that, she walked out of the only home she had ever known. The music shifts, wind sounds, street ambience. The first night was brutal. Cold pavement, hungry stomach. Strangers staring. Daniel saw her shivering. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "I chose to be," she answered. He gave her his only blanket. She refused. He insisted. That night, she learned something her mansion never taught her. Warmth has nothing to do with money. Days turned into weeks. Victor secretly had people watch her. He expected breakdowns, but reports kept coming back the same. She's helping at a shelter. She's organizing food donations. She's teaching street kids how to read. She wasn't surviving, she was thriving, and Daniel, he wasn't what Victor imagined. He was educated, articulate, calm. One evening, Victor ordered a full background investigation. What he discovered shook him. Daniel Reyes, former tech entrepreneur, lost his company after trusted partners manipulated contracts. Fought lawsuits he couldn't afford, bank accounts frozen, assets seized, friends vanished, investors disappeared. In less than a year, he lost everything except his integrity. Victor stared at the report in silence. This wasn't a failure. This was a man destroyed by greed, the same world Victor dominated. Music grows emotional. Meanwhile, on the streets, something unexpected was happening. Isabella wasn't weak. She was strong. She listened to stories no one else cared about. She treated addicts like people. She treated veterans like heroes, and Daniel watched her. "You had everything." He said one night, "No." She replied, "I had comfort, not perspective." Weeks later, winter grew harsher. A violent storm hit the city. Shelters overflowed. People panicked. In the chaos, a small fire broke out in an abandoned building where many homeless people slept. Without hesitation, Daniel ran inside to help. Isabella followed. They guided people out, one by one. Smoke filled the air, beams cracked above them. Outside, Victor had arrived. For the first time, he saw it with his own eyes. Not statistics, not reports, reality, his daughter coughing in smoke, helping strangers before herself, and Daniel shielding her from falling debris. In that moment, Victor's definition of worth collapsed. Daniel emerged burned but alive. He could have run, he could have saved himself, but he didn't. Victor stepped forward. For once, he had no words, no commands, no power, just realization. I was wrong. He finally said, not to the world, not to the press, but to them. He had built an empire on strength, but he had confused strength with wealth. He restored Isabella's access to everything, but something had changed. She didn't rush back to luxury. Instead, she made a condition. If we rebuild anything, she said, we rebuild it for everyone. Victor invested in shelters, legal funds for the wrongfully ruined, programs for second chances, and Victor offered him a partnership. Not charity, respect, because he finally understood something priceless. Money measures success, but character measures value. And sometimes the man with nothing has more to teach than the man with everything. Music softens. Slow piano. Years later, people would tell the story differently. They would say, a millionaire gave his daughter to a homeless man, but that's not what really happened. A millionaire gave his daughter a lesson, and she gave him back his humanity.